Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 33rd induction ceremony for the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame. Please rise if you are able, as together we welcome this year's Sports Hall of Fame inductees and our special guests, led into the room by Piper Dave Lynette. Piper Dave, there we go. Now that's an official party well entered. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2025 edition of the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame inductees. We're going to sit for like 10 seconds, please. Please sit for 10 seconds while we recognize Piper Dave Lynette. Thank you, Dave, for the directing of the squeal. He's the busiest bagmeister in Saskatchewan this day. Finds an example of community, serving community. He brings celebration to so many events. Tom Rothwell, that was adorable. Watching you try and pretend to mouth the words to that song. Wonderful. There are no words to a bagpipe reel, obviously, Tom, and just as there are no words to adequately honor the skills and dedication and the heart of a community personified so vibrantly in the values and accomplishments of sport, as we are in our piece of the earth in Prince Albert and area. So here we are to spend an evening together as a community to honor our own, these accomplished people, and all they represent and mean to a rich and an engaged community. My name is Rich Holash, and it is indeed an honor for me to be Master of Ceremonies for you this evening. This event has a long and fabled history, 33 years, and I'm up here today. My father, John Holash, had a lot to do with in the early years of this Hall of Fame. He was the founder of the Saskatchewan Hall of Fame, and Aaron's here. We'll hear from Aaron later from the Provincial Hall. I remember him today with some cufflinks today, and I'm remembering another friend of mine and a friend of everyone in the room today, Bruce Vance. Leanne's kind of given me one of his favorite ties to wear tonight as well. So please, we remember the history of this organization, and we remember these people before us. I'm also wearing a pair of socks from Barry Schrader, but that's a different story. He's still with us. To begin in a good way, Te Wao Haya Anin Tansi Atlante, we recognize that Prince Albert is located in Treaty 6 territory and is the traditional homeland of the Métis people. We extend our respect to all Indigenous people in our community for their traditional stewardship and care for these lands and for their valuable past and present contributions to our community. In doing so, we celebrate and embrace the value of the rich cultural diversity with which we are indeed blessed in Prince Albert. And we recognize the responsibilities that we all inherit for each other as community. Here tonight and always, we reaffirm our relationship together to one another as community. So at this time, this is the end of the 10 seconds. I need you to stand again because we're going to honor our country now. And please join Sports Hall of Fame Board President Barry Bohanowicz in the singing of O Canada. Barry?
Please join me. O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, President Barry. Please be seated. Very nicely voiced, by the way. This is a talented crowd tonight. Tom Rothwell, even you. I thought you sang well as well. That was kind of the stick that in your terrace version of O Canada, so very well done, everyone. You sang like Brady Kachuk was right in the room with us, so well done. I really couldn't be happier to be here tonight for the reasons that I explained earlier. And while we're in this moment of pride, I'd like to introduce to you our special guests and guests of honor for tonight's induction ceremony. I am advised that Randy Holback was ill tonight. He didn't get that majority government, so he's under the weather a little bit that he was hoping for. But Randy sends his best and his greetings to us and to all the inductees tonight. We have with us a member of the Legislative Assembly of Saskatchewan, Minister of Saskatchewan Liquor and Gaming, as well as a minister responsible for the status of women, the hardworking, the very lovable, the honorable Alana Ross is here. Give it away, Alana. Representing the city of Prince Albert, a proud Prince Albert father of a very impressive grown children. They grew up in the PACES scheme in earlier years as well. He is the highest ranking elected official in Prince Albert, the second highest ranking authority in his household, next to his bride Charlotte. His worship, my friend, Mayor Bill Pawlowski. And we are indeed honored and very appreciative to have with us this evening, all the way from Regina, that's in the south of the province, the Executive Director of the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame, Ms. Erin Stankiewicz. Erin, thanks for being here. And now I'm going to introduce our head table to you. And I'll just ask people to rise and give a quick wave as I introduce you. Representing the Sports Organization of the Year that we'll be honoring this evening, the Prince Albert Youth Soccer Association, PESA, Vice President Cameron Duplessis. We will be inducting in the athlete category, Elizabeth Hudon-Tanaski. And she's here with her husband, Chris. He married into the Hudon family. He deserves that cheer. Also in the athlete category, a friend of my family over many, many years, Mr. Frank Dunn. Lonnie Akers will be inducted as well in the athlete category. He's accompanied by his wife, Rachel. And in the builder category, we will be inducting Ren Quintel, who is here with his wife, Cherise. Tom Rothwell, accompanied by his bride, Brenda. Also inducted, we'll be inducting to the builder category, Brent Zavershuk, here with his partner, and to be inducted into the meritorious service category, Roger Mayer, attending with his wife, Anne. Now here we get into the drunken cheering part of it. These are the two teams in the team categories. The 1984 to 1987 Birch Hills Marauders basketball teams, represented tonight by Kelly and Carmen Bear. And as well, we will be honoring the 1975 to 1978 Meath Park Mustangs football teams, represented by Danny Carrier and Marlon Sikowski. Ladies and gentlemen, these are tonight's inductees going into the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame. Let's hear it for them all. Now, before we get to another great meal from Shenanigans, we would like to call on Hall of Fame Director Jody Belay to say grace. Jody?
Good evening, everyone. Please join me in a moment of prayer and reflection. We are grateful for many things as we gather here on this special evening. This evening is an opportunity to be grateful and to recognize the many athletes, builders, volunteers, and teammates that contribute to the Prince Albert sporting community. We are grateful for the years of commitment, victories, losses, and life lessons that sport contributes to our daily lives. We are grateful for our families, friends, and mentors that provide the necessary supports through our sporting endeavors. Your support, patience, and understanding through the ups and downs that are experienced through sport are appreciated. We are grateful for the generosity of our community sponsors. It is your generosity and willingness to support infrastructure development, programs and services that contributes to the success of Prince Albert sporting community. We pray for those that traveled to be here in celebration this evening. We pray that your travels are safe and that you return in the future to enjoy the many benefits of sport here in Prince Albert. We are grateful for the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame Board of Directors. We are grateful for your selfless work each year to recognize the many contributors to the Prince Albert sporting community. Lastly, we are grateful for the food that is prepared for us in celebration this evening. We are grateful for this special meal and for the many blessings we have received. May it be a blessing to us and to others. Amen.
Thank you, Jody. You don't know how hard it was for us to find somebody from City Hall that didn't have a dark soul to say grace tonight. So, thank you, Jody. Now, the mayor could have done it. The mayor could have done it. And I'm already up here, so, you know. We're now going to go for dinner. This lovely lady here in the black apron, she's queen, and she's going to tap the shoulders of our head table first, and then I think if there's any grace in the world, we tap the table that I'm sitting at next, and then the rest of you will see, okay? But she'll let you know when it's your turn. So enjoy your meal. Shenanigans is hosting us tonight, so all the best. Enjoy your dinner. While we're settling down, how about a big round of applause for Jen and her staff from Shenanigans for a great meal. Always so good. This is such a special evening. It's got so much history to it. Just like to take a moment now to acknowledge some of our past Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame inductees who are here with us this evening. Jim Flynn, please stand up and give us a wave there. There's Jim. Barry Schrader in the fetching cowboy hat there. Barry Mihailovich without a hat. Bruce Batts, who's here in memory of Ty and Leanne here. Roger Mayer, of course, is an inductee in his own right. Roger's here again. Dale Regal is here with the much more attractive Pat Regal, who is also Wayne Akers. Who's Wayne? Felix and Marlene Casabat are here now as well. There we are. Christian Hudon? Christian, where are you? There he is. And well, Chris Hudon is here as well. There he is. Bob Smithko is here, of course. Bob, give us a wave. Lorraine Akers Broussard. Will the Posen's with us? Of course, the very lovely Ellie Grubcock is with us. Hi, Ellen. And Grace Stark as well. Where's Grace? Past inductees of the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame. Give them a big hand, everyone. Just a brief commercial message for a minute here. The names of these past inductees in their day and tonight's inductees came forward to the Hall of Fame board by nominations. So there is always a nominator behind and a nomination behind the award and the selection of the people that are being honored. So the board is accepting nominations for future induction ceremonies. So if you're looking around the room tonight and you're thinking during our event, you know, there's somebody that I'm surprised hasn't been in the Hall of Fame before, please consider making a nomination. You can find the nomination forms and criteria on the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame website. The acronym is PASHOF, so the O's in there too. So Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame. The website is www.pashof.ca. So take a look or talk to one of the people, the good-looking people that have the nice black director's tags on, and they can steer you to the nomination. So please think about being a nominator in future years. So it's that time of the evening where we have at an event like this that brings community together and where we celebrate some of the best values and qualities of our community, where we have dignitaries that come and want to share the evening with us. And we're happy to have with us a number of them. I've introduced you to them before, and we'll call upon, firstly, Alana Ross, representing the Legislative Assembly of Saskatchewan, and of course, Prince Albert's own Minister of Saskatchewan Gaming and Liquor, and as well, ministry responsible for the status of women. So, Alana Ross.
Which is a fair bit taller than I am, but good evening, everyone. To all the dignitaries, inductees, ladies and gentlemen. It's so wonderful to see so many people out here tonight for this wonderful celebration. It's my pleasure to join you here this evening on Treaty 6 territory and homeland of the Métis people to bring greetings on behalf of Premier Scott Moe and the Government of Saskatchewan. Thank you to the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame for extending the invitation to join you here and for bringing us all here together. Over 30 years ago, a group of sports enthusiasts recognized the need to honor the accomplishments of remarkable individuals and organizations, laying the foundation for the esteemed Hall of Fame that we have here today. Since 1988, The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame has recognized athletes, builders, teams, and others. And tonight, the class of 2025 will be enshrined. Our inductees this year include outstanding athletes and builders like Lonnie, Elizabeth, Frank, Tom, Renee, and Brent. Recognizing Roger for meritorious services, the Meath Park football and Birch Hills basketball teams for their contributions, and the Prince Albert Youth Soccer Association as Sports Organization of the Year. Congratulations to all of you. Your recognition is well deserved. As ambassadors and role models of our province, your accomplishments and your contributions to sport will be acknowledged for many years to come. Thank you for being exemplary representatives of our province and for your work in promoting the benefits of sport and recreation in our lives. Sports helps to build strong citizens and strong families. They teach us life skills, encourage new friendships, helps us live healthy, active lifestyles, and provides both entertainment and excitement. And our government recognizes the importance of sports as they bring communities together and teach valuable life lessons. Whether it's on the rink, field, or court, or working behind the scenes, each individual plays an important role. Thank you to the Sports Hall of Fame for the ongoing work you do to recognize the many contributions of individuals and groups in the sporting world in our city. And thank you to the committee for organizing another amazing event this year. On behalf of the entire government of Saskatchewan, congratulations to all of the inductees. And it truly has been an honor for me to be here this evening to help celebrate with you, all of you. Your families should be very proud of your achievements and your contributions to sport in our province. Thank you.
Thank you. That's the Honorable Alana Ross. Again, thanks very much, Alana. In this beautiful city of ours, we're very fortunate to have some dedicated members of the council elected in this term, and here representing the city of Prince Albert and the council members that are here and unable to attend tonight, please welcome His Worship, Mayor Bill Pawlinski.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, what a gorgeous day and such a grand evening. It's so good to see everybody out. And what about those Leafs, eh? I want a round of applause for this. Come on. Okay, so not everybody fell asleep after supper. This is good. It truly is an honor and a pleasure to be able to bring greetings to the city of Prince Albert. The councillors that are here, Councillor Solomon, Councillor Kilmer, you probably know as strong supporters of athletic programs and sports programs. What you don't know is because I grew up in Kenestano, not too many people in PA got to see my athletic prowess. So I'm going to tell you a little known fact. Back in my younger day, I was quite the boxer. Okay? The guys at Safeway said they'd never seen anybody pack groceries as fast as I could. Right? This thing moves, holy cow. So, but on a really serious and heartfelt note, Prince Albert's vision statement is that we're a welcoming, diverse, innovative, healthy city of opportunity. And you take a look at what people in this room do as role models, as community builders, as Alana said, ambassadors. She said it so well. I don't have a lot to follow up with, but those attributes that you folks bring are a big piece of what makes this community's vision a reality. I don't know how many people remember Horace Rudd. He was the community policing officer. But I remember him saying that if it weren't for sports programs in Prince Albert, he would have been a gang member. So that's just, you know, one person's reflection on what it meant to be a young person growing up in PA. So again, with all respect and love for the Sports Hall of Fame board, actually Barry commented on Mitch's opening remark about me being the second highest ranking person in the household. Barry said, you're lucky that you made it to number 2. So it's me, it's my wife, me, and the dog. I think it was a tie for the dog at some point. I have to tell you, when it comes to dark parts, you may not know this, but Mitch is the city solicitor. Okay, think about that one. But anyway, again, you know, all respect and love for the board, the athletes, the coaches, the parents. My friend Terry Gibson, since I hardly saw since about 1970. Gosh, it's been a while, eh? A great wrestling coach. He was telling me about a fellow that told him what you need to do to have a good football team or be a good coach. And the first thing was to have a good wife behind you, or a good husband, because you're going to spend a lot of time and devote a lot of energy. The other 2 things was get a dog, because he'll be spending a lot of time walking alone. And the third thing is have a good quarterback. Right? So anyway, so with that anyway, again, I don't know if I've missed anybody in congratulating and saluting you. Again, from the city of Prince Albert, from our council, who are all heavily invested in supporting the sports scene in PA one way or another. And our excellent team and administration staff, led by our director, Jody Boulay. Oh, there he is. Who's an outstanding director of Parks and Recreation. We are really, really happy to be able to support you in your endeavors. So thank you very much.
Maryville is much too modest when he talks about his Canistino sports days, because I was there. There still is a sign up there, and you still hold the record for the pumpkin pitch there. So well done. The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame has benefited significantly over its long tenure with its long-standing relationship with the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame. There is a satellite network of halls of fame throughout the province, and the leadership that we get from the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame in Regina is excellent. They will soon be celebrating, I understand, 60 years since its incarnation, and we are so pleased to have with us tonight its executive director, Aaron Stankovich.
Thank you so much. Thank you to the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame for having me this evening. And on behalf of the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame and its board of directors, my sincere congratulations to the class of 2025. It takes a lot to get to this place, so I'm looking forward to celebrating with you guys and hearing your stories this evening. I want to take a moment to thank a few other people in the room. Specifically, I want to thank the folks who nominated the people up on stage today. So if there's anybody in the audience who was a nominator, can you just give like a quick little wave? There we go, I see one back there, over there, back there. So as Mitch mentioned, this would not happen without nominators. So I really want to give a round of applause to those nominators. And you know, sports, as everybody has said, sports are so important to a community, and Hall of Fame specifically are important to remind a community of a sense of place, a sense of camaraderie. So please consider your mentors, your coaches, your teammates throughout the years, and if there is a good nominee for either the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame or the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame, It's vital to keep our organizations alive, and it's important to the history of our province. So again, thank you very much, and I hope everybody has a wonderful evening.
Thank you very much, Aaron Stegwich. I have Barry Mihajlovic on my agenda here. I'm not sure, Barry, are you coming up to sing again, or what's, this is in your capacity as sponsor for Big Drum? No, it's as president of the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame. So that's the hat you'll be wearing today. We are truly blessed to have Barry and his family in this community for since well, your whole lives, and now you have sons that we see are back here, and it's really great to have this level of family commitment in the city. So very pleased to introduce my friend, everybody's friend here, Barry Mihajlovic, to bring remarks on behalf of the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame.
I can sing too. Just a minute to do it. I have to do some housekeeping things here. Is that far enough, Karen? Thank you, Mitch. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests. Oh, and what's going on here? Hello. And of course, our esteemed Stephen, what's going on here? Sure, the sound guy gets up to talk, and there we go. Yeah. I think we're okay now. Yes, Mitch, thank you very much. This is crazy. I made a joke about Mitch, but I can't because he has the last word tonight, so I'll be careful about that. It is indeed my honor and my privilege to talk a bit about the amazing people who make up the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame. Since its inception in 1988, more than 200 individuals and more than 40 teams have been recognized for their achievements and for their contributions to the sport in Prince Albert and surrounding area. Included in that group are several Canadian and yes, even world champions. Matter of fact, one of our first inductees even won 4 Stanley Cups with the Toronto Maple Leafs, no less. I know that's hard to believe, but Johnny Bauer from little old PA actually did it, proving that it is possible. Maybe this year all you Leaf fans will see it happen again, hey? Go Leafs, go. Also, this year we are inducting somebody who, as best of my knowledge, is the first third-generation inductee. Lonnie Akers, whose grandpa, Ted Akers, bowled the first perfect game in Prince Albert, and whose dad, Wayne Akers, is also in the Sports Hall of Fame. That's an amazing, amazing thing. We also recognize the coaches, officials, organizers, and volunteers who work behind the scenes to keep the sports running. Tonight we will induct 4 of them, but there are countless others who often go unrecognized. Their tireless efforts make it possible for others to enjoy the benefits that sport provides. Our community is much better because of the service they provide, and we thank them. Let's hear it for them. I would also like to thank the many businesses and individuals who provide monetary support for sports in Prince Albert. Without your contributions, much of what we celebrate here tonight would not have happened. In particular, I'd like to thank our sponsors for their generous support for the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame, and I'd especially like to recognize, Brent McDonald from Crown Cleaners, Crown Vacuum. Brent, please stand up. He's been a sponsor for longer than I've been around, and I've been around a while. Thank you so much. The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is run by a volunteer board of directors. This evening is the culmination of a year of planning by this amazing group. I'd like to introduce them now. I know they've probably been introduced already, but I'd please like you all to stand and stay standing. Our Vice President, Pat Rigo. Treasurer, Carol Souls. Secretary, Jody Boulay. Our past President, Ellen Drewcock. and directors Leanne Vance, Barry Schrader, Jim Flynn, Gail Graham, and Janet Londa-Hodges. I believe we also have at least one former director in attendance, and I'd like all the former directors to stand and be acknowledged. Bob, for sure. Stand up. Anybody else I might have missed? Oh, right there. Stay standing. Let's hear it for them. Now, I'm going to ask everybody else to stand at this time. Last fall, we lost a very important member of our group. Bruce Vance passed away on October 18th, 2024, following a long and extremely courageous battle with cancer. Bruce's contribution to the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame and to the sporting community at large in our city is absolutely immeasurable. His passion, energy, and dedication is sorely missed. At this time, I'd ask that we observe a moment of silence in Bruce's memory. Thank you. Now let's give Bruce a big round of applause. And there you go, Bruce. You got a standing ovation. I think he'd like that, yes. Yes, we're really blessed that Leanne is there carrying on in his name, and really, Bruce, way cool. Lastly, I would like to thank all of you for coming tonight to help us celebrate and honor the sporting accomplishments of all of these illustrious inductees. Thank you.
Yeah, you can take your mic, Gary. I brought a spare. Thank you. Well done, Gary Mahatovich, everybody. Before we introduce the 33rd induction class for the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame, we will begin by naming the Sports Organization of the Year. This is the 11th time the Organization of the Year has been named by the Hall. Sports organizations recognized in past years have been PA Minor Baseball, PA Minor Softball, PA Sports Council, the Prince Albert Mintos, Prince Albert Kenshukan Judo Club, PA Hockey, Prince Albert Minor Football, Prince Albert Gymnastics Club, Prince Albert Lacrosse Association, and the Esso Cup Organizing Committee. These were all honored previously and deserve some remembrance today of those successes. These are continuing organizations, all of them, and continue to do great work, but let's hear it for them. The Board of Directors deliberates annually and makes its selection for each year's induction banquet, and this year, the Sports Organization of the Year is Prince Albert Youth Soccer Association. Or PESA, as we've come to know it. It's been fostering young athletes for over 35 years. Their community impact can be seen and felt both on and off the turf. Their continuing fundraising and stewardship efforts have supported the development of the Alfred Jenkins Fieldhouse and most recently the purchase of new turf there. Programming has thrived impressively through initiatives such as an expanding grassroots program, First Nations soccer development, and well-established pathways for coaching and referee development. PESA's competitive program is widely recognized for nurturing exceptional players who have achieved success at regional, provincial, national, and international levels. The long list of dedicated players, coaches, referees, and volunteers, many of whom are in the room tonight, showcase their profound impact on both the game and their communities. Their contributions tell a compelling story of why this organization truly deserves this prestigious recognition. The Sports Organization of the Year is the Prince Albert Youth Soccer Association. And at this time, we'd like to call forward Sports Hall of Fame President Barry Mahatovich and Lake Country Co-op Representative Tim Keller to present the Sports Organization of the Year plaque to Cameron Duplessis, the Vice President of the Board from the Prince Albert Youth Soccer Association. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Congratulations again to the Prince Albert Youth Soccer Association. Thank you very much for being here. We accept the award with so many other people from Hazel that are here in the room tonight with you. Tonight's celebration would not be possible without the support of some incredible sponsors, and we'd like to recognize those sponsors now, and we'll call you all up at one time if that's all right. So as I call the sponsor names, we'd like you to come up and accept a token of appreciation from the Sports Hall of Fame. Our longest running sponsor, and apparently somebody who's even older than Barry Mihailovich, is Crown Cleaners Brent McDonald. Brent, come on up. Michael Lipnick from Remax Realtor. I think, Brent, you're here to accept on behalf of Michael as well, aren't you? So, Prince Albert Northern Bus Lines, Stacy Petroman. Lake Country Co-op, Tim Keller. Tim, come up, back up. We also want to recognize the Broder Group, Gordon Broder and Rusty Clooney. They weren't able to be with us tonight, but we recognize them. Smitty's Restaurant, Mark Walters. And representing Big Drum Media, Barry Mihailovich. And as we give some plaques and recognition to these great sponsors who we couldn't do without, we'd also like to mention and demonstrate our appreciation to Connie Joyson, who's handling the photography here tonight, and PA Fastprint, who met our printing needs, for their contributions to tonight's banquet. So please, for Connie and PA Fastprint, thank you both. So if you are interested in joining this good-looking, powerful group here and becoming a sponsor of this of the Sports Hall of Fame and this event, please reach out to Sports Hall of Fame directors Jim Flynn. Where'd you go, Jim? There's Jim, and Barry Schrader, and they'll look after you. So ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we are going to take a 10-minute break so that you can look after some personal needs, either there, or elsewhere. Maybe entertain some business and visiting. But we'll call you back in 10 minutes in order to introduce to you our 2025 Sports Hall of Fame inductees. See you in 10 minutes. So this is the part of the program that we've all gathered together to celebrate. And here's how it's going to work. Big Drum Media has prepared videos for each of the inductees. I'm going to, before each video, I'm going to call up the sponsor, who will be, the sponsor representative who will be presenting the award to the inductee. When I call the sponsor's name, we ask them to come up here and watch the video from up here. So the sponsor will come up here. The inductees can watch the video from their seats, and then we'll ask the inductee at the end of the video to come up and be presented. So that's how we're going to do it. Any questions? Brent, any questions? Okay, you got it? Good. We would ask that everyone perhaps stay on their seats during the presentations as well. I know there's a lot of interest in taking photographs. Official photos of the presentations will be available for you to download off the website after the event. So Connie will have those available, and you can download those later. At the end of the evening, all of the citations will actually be on display, and that will be your opportunity to gather family, friends, the whole team, to take photographs in front of the pictorial citations. So we'll have those opportunities. So if you can, stay in your seats while the presentations are being done. No limit on the cheering and the applause. This is all celebration. So for the first two awards, because he had no questions, we're going to call up Brent McDonald from Crown Painters to show us how this is done. And ladies and gentlemen, I now direct your attention to the video screens as we introduce our first inductee for 2025 into Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame in the athletes category, Elizabeth Tanansky.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to recognize Elizabeth Tanansky in the athlete category. Elizabeth Tanansky was an accomplished all-around athlete, but it was the sport of soccer where she made her mark.
She played a lot, and she would do things like she'd do things with both feet, and she was very much like a kid who could do things for just a long period of time.
She was a multi-sport athlete, and so I got to witness her play soccer from an outsider perspective, and then I got to coach Elizabeth as well. I coached her in basketball, and so I got to see her just thrive in the sporting world for a number of reasons. She was an elite talent.
My first memories would be just playing sports at home, more so than organized sports. My dad was a real trooper and would let me, take some shots on him or throw the ball at him or throw me pop flies or whatever it was that I wanted to do.
Elizabeth started playing soccer at the age of 5 in a co-ed league, where she would win a number of house league championships. By the time she was 12, she started playing Celtic soccer and began to really make a name for herself.
My dad, I don't know if he called me or I called home or whatever, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Elizabeth scored like 8 goals tonight." And I was like, "Oh really? I didn't know she scored any goals." And he was like, "Well, you know what? She didn't. But the girl who normally scores all our goals played in net tonight, and since we didn't have anybody else to score goals, she, I guess, decided to take that role upon herself and scored 8 of them. And ever since then, she scored a lot of goals."
She played with the Celtics for 5 years and won the Golden Boot and MVP for the Provincial Soccer League in 2003. She was also the Saskatchewan Soccer Association MVP in 2006 and 2007 and the Youth Player of the Year.
She's somebody who's a quiet leader. She's not someone who wants to take center stage or wants to be the voice of people or represent everybody, but she leads through her example, which I think speaks so much more to her character than someone who just simply talks the talk of what a team should do or should be.
She was someone that would lead through, I wouldn't say she was overly vocal in the sense where she was like a rah-rah type of player, but she was someone that would lead in her compete levels, both in practices. She hated losing. Even in training sessions.
Yeah, you ask anybody that knows me, I'm competitive in every aspect of my life. So yes, from a young age, I was very competitive in anything that I was doing, sports or card games or whatever it was.
My earliest memory of Liz is from around when she was 12 and we were in PA at her parents' house outside trying to break our juggling records with a soccer ball. And I remember being in awe of how good she was. And so I think that competitive side is something that I saw early on, which definitely carried over into her university days.
And because she was had such a high level of compete, that just the whole team would thrive because of that compete level.
Her skills caught the eye of the University of Saskatchewan Huskies, who recruited her to begin playing in 2007. She started her Huskies career off strong and was named the Husky Athletics Female Rookie of the Year for the 2007-2008 season.
Liz, as a teammate during Huskies, was so reliable and so consistent. It didn't matter who we were playing, you knew that she was showing up in the mind frame of like, we're gonna win, she's gonna give it her all, and more often than not, you were gonna see Liz's name on the scoreboard.
During her time as a member of the Huskies, she was a 5-time Huskies Golden Boot winner and a 4-time Huskies MVP. She was named to the Canada West All-Star team in 2008, 2010, and 2011.
Getting to play for my university, it's when I became an aunt who was in university, so my nephews would come to the games. So I think that kind of crossroads of turning from like a kid into an adult and carrying that soccer over into that would have that was kind of a cool part of my soccer career, I'd say.
Once Elizabeth moved on to her teaching career, she shared her skills with young athletes, helping coach St. Mary's High School to a provincial volleyball championship in 2017.
We co-coached a volleyball team together, and we also coached basketball together. And so for me, what I found was so great for her was the way that she could not just relate to the athletes because of her own abilities. And so many young women still that I come across at our high school that I work at still talk about her as in this legendary status as who she was as an athlete, but she just related to people so well too. So she not only got the respect of her athletes because of who she was as an athlete, but because of who she was as a person.
Elizabeth has always been a fierce competitor, but humble in her success and a strong advocate for sports and athletes in her hometown of Prince Albert.
I put a lot of my life into sports and this community, so I think I'm just honored. I think it's pretty incredible.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome Elizabeth Tanaski in the athlete category.
Elizabeth Hudon-Tanaski. Well done, Liz. I'm going to ask Brent McDonald to stay on the presenting stage while we introduce the video for the next inductee, also in the athlete category, Frank Dunn.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to recognize Frank Dunn in the athlete category. As an athlete, Frank Dunn excelled in gymnastics, diving, and triathlon, competing on the provincial, national, and international stage.
He's an outstanding athlete. He's done tremendous things in his athletic endeavors. And when you think about it, here's a guy that grew up, lived, and still lives in Prince Albert. And we didn't have a huge gymnastic club compared to like the Marion Gym Club in Saskatoon. But he still trained and continued to push himself to become an outstanding gymnast. He did the same thing with diving. When you think about starting in 1971 and then completing about 1976, going from never having done much of diving at all to being on the national team and winning competitions That's a remarkable feat for anybody, but having done it while still living in Prince Albert, I think is a credit to him.
Early on in his athletic career, Frank was a member of the Prince Albert Kinsman Gymnastics Club.
Jack Aloof was the coach down at the, it was the Centennial Auditorium, and it turned to the Margot Fournier.
We just had fun. It was a very enjoyable time. And as we were doing things on the floor or on the apparatus, he was always there as a real supportive teammate. And whenever you wanted to try something and you're just a little hesitant or a little afraid of it, he was the guy that was going to be there, that was going to support you and help you get on the way through it.
Frank showed incredible skill, strength, and flexibility at those competitions, performing moves that many others couldn't.
From the age of 13 to 16 in gymnastics, 17. And we had a great club here in Prince Albert. And I think I went to Westerns. I won Westerns, Western Canadians. And then I bought a motorcycle and broke my leg a couple of times. So that took me out. And then I went into diving when I went to university.
Frank began competing in the sport of diving when he attended the University of Manitoba in 1971.
Yeah, I went to Manitoba. My first year at university, I pulled the bowler trailer with my Volkswagen Beetle, and I lived in that trailer for the first year of my university through the winter in Winnipeg. And so I took diving up because that's how I got my shower every day.
Later transferring to University of Calgary to join that university's diving club. At the U of C, Frank was named the Male Athlete of the Year in 1976 and was the CIAU All-Canadian for 2 years in 1975 and 1976, winning both events 1 meter and 3 meter springboard and setting 2 new all-high records in both. In 1975, Frank won Alberta Provincials in all 3 events, 1, 3, and 10 meters.
I still recall one of the female divers on our team getting very excited when she heard that the body was in the house. Frank has this incredible, natural, gymnastic-enhanced body that gets noticed.
At Nationals, Frank won the 1 meter springboard and placed 3rd for the 10 meter tower. He also earned a spot as the first alternate on Canada's Olympic diving team.
I was on the game plan 76 for the Olympic trials. Not that long after, my dad died in June of 75. And so that's when the Olympic trials were and the events. I went on 3 international events, but I went home shortly after that.
After his career with the national diving team, Frank returned to Prince Albert, coaching both diving and gymnastics, receiving the Saskatchewan Male Gymnastic Coach Award.
So in Prince Albert 25 years ago, there was a diving club. And the diving club was started by Frank Dunn, and he helped my daughter learn that sport.
In 1982, Frank decided it would be a good idea to start the Frank Dunn Triathlon.
That started as a bet on a fishing trip up north, a canoe fishing trip. And it was Kerry Paul who said, you know, they're doing this thing in Hawaii called the Ironman, and we should do one.
They sort of dreamed up the idea of a triathlon where they'd swim in Waskesiu and bike to Spruce Home and run to Prince Albert. And so the challenge was kind of on for doing that, and the first year there was 13 people that completed the triathlon, and of course it's grown into a sanctioned Saskatchewan event that's 43 years strong.
And it's still running to this day, and I believe it's the second oldest triathlon running in Canada.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome Frank Dunn in the athlete category.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Dunn. For our next inductee, we would like to call on Tim Keller from Lake Country Co-op to make the presentation. Tim, if you could come on up. And for induction into the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame, third generation inductee in the athlete category, Lonnie Akers.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to recognize Lonnie Akers in the athlete category. Lonnie's journey as a competitive bowler started before he was even 5 years old, spending much of his time as a youth in the local Minto bowling alley.
I grew up around the bowling alley. I had lots of relatives that were bowling at the time, and I just picked it up from there, and of course YBC was right around the corner there.
And Lonnie started bowling when he was, well, I put him into the YBC leagues when he was about 5. And he did the same thing as I did. He'd come down and watch me bowl in the tournament, and then he'd turn around and head for one of the lanes, because Don Haluka Sr. or Ethel would say, go ahead, bowl. And he'd bowl all afternoon.
Oh, he loved to bowl, even like at a younger age. He was always at the, wanting to be at the bowling alley. And
then when he got to about 13, 14 years old, I never see him. He'd go to school in the morning, and I never see him until 9 o'clock because he'd get a ride to the bowling alley. And Don and Ethel would feed him his supper, and he'd bowl all night,
That early start and dedication was only the foundation for setting the stage for an extraordinary career. As a member of the Youth Bowling Council, Lonnie competed in numerous provincial and national championship events.
We went to winter games, and I was the youngest on my team by at least 3 years or so, but I ended up making that team. We ended up winning gold, and that was kind of my first taste of competitive bowling, and I guess from there I was hooked.
Even as a young adult, that's what he was just driven. He knew that's what he wanted, and that's what he went out and did.
He's always been motivated to just see how well he can do at something. And it doesn't matter if it's his career path, or if it's within his family, or if it's within academic or sport. He's a very intellectual gentleman, and he's a very kind, considerate, compassionate individual.
Over the years, Lonnie made his mark in the bowling world with remarkable performances at provincial and national competitions. His list of accomplishments is very impressive. He has been a member of the Prince Albert's Open team for 30 years, a member of the provincial All-Star team 12 times. And Lonnie went on to compete on a televised national stage by bowling on TSN twice, and in 2005, he won $20,000 on CBC Sports Saturday televised national championships.
He won his first money tournament, and we called them the Pro Tour, and it was the CBC television series.
It was kind of a whirlwind, I can't lie. It was something I wasn't expecting. You don't go down there to expect to win because you're bowling against 12 of the best bowlers in the country. But once I had won, it was, I didn't realize, just how many people watch bowling when it actually happened. But yeah, when it happened, it was special, yeah, for sure. When you're up there and it's just, me against my opponent, there's a lot of steps to get there, but once you get there, you just want to take advantage of the opportunity, and that's exactly what I did.
His impact on the sport of bowling extends well beyond his personal achievements. Lonnie volunteers his time to the Bowlers of Prince Albert, coaching both adults and the youth. He has also been involved for over 10 years serving as an instructor and pro at the Saskatchewan Bowling School, which draws in aspiring youth bowlers from across the country.
He gives back to bowling. He goes to the bowling school that's run every year. He volunteers his time. He goes and teaches there. He coaches.
Teaching the young ones coming up. He does coaching too with the kids. So, anything to better the sport.
He's been giving back to the youth bowling school for over 15 years.
I enjoy it. It's giving back to the sport that's given me a lot. I enjoy helping adults and youth. You know, I'd like to see keep going and you know, have the same enjoyment come from this sport as I've gotten.
He's truly a gentleman of the sport. And he learns from both his wins and his losses. He just really values the opportunity to be challenged, and he does it with a remarkable sense of fair play and integrity.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome Lonnie Akers in the athlete category.
Ladies and gentlemen, inducted into the athletes category, Lonnie Akers. Well done, Lonnie. I could call on Mark Walters from Smitty's Restaurants for the next two presentations. Mark, can you come up? And we will introduce to you through a video presentation the contributions and stylings as a builder of Ren Quintel.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to recognize Rene Quintel in the Builder category. Rene Quintel is a name synonymous with volleyball in Prince Albert. As a volleyball player, Rene was a member of the 1995 Prince Albert Toppers team that won silver at Nationals.
Yeah, I think my parents wanted me to try a lot of different sports. You know, in the winter I played hockey. I was involved in indoor soccer in the winter, and in the spring I'd be playing softball. When I was in high school I took a liking to both volleyball and basketball.
Rennie was I'll call an athlete that worked hard to get the best out of who he was. That's the kind of guy that you want on your team. Someone that would just, he was gritty, he would work hard, had a lot of energy. And so yeah, that was who he was as an athlete.
The things I remember, he was a very hard worker. So there was no practice, but every morning the boys would come in at 8 o'clock, they'd be there and they'd work on their volleyball. But it's not a practice. They just loved the game and they would come in and work on their skills.
Rene was an assistant coach with the University of Saskatchewan Huskies from 1999 to 2001. In 2001, he helped guide the Junior Huskies 20U team to a national championship title.
It was actually at a provincial team camp. I was helping out my high school coach, Dale Regal, with some evaluations, and then the University of Saskatchewan head coach, Brian Galvis, was there, and he asked me, would you like to be a part of the men's team in a coaching practicum role? And I said, sure. And I really didn't know what I was getting into, and then when I got into it, it really basically changed the course of my education, where I was able to learn under a master coach. And it was basically volleyball 101 every day.
In 2002, Rene became the St. Mary's High School volleyball coach and has had continued success with multiple gold medals under his belt.
He was already quite an accomplished coach when he started working with me, and I think we made a good team. We worked together and we had some success together.
He loved to win. Yeah, and very technically sound. In high school, we would have won 2 provincial titles, and then all 4 years of the club team for Bananas.
In 2003, Rene started coaching with the Prince Albert Volleyball Club, and over 20 years of coaching, the club has amassed 9 provincial gold medals across 3 different age categories, ranging from under 15 to under 18. He's also coached 13 different club teams at the national level.
He's an analytics type coach, but he also understands there's a peer dynamic and there's a relationship aspect that has to happen within his teams. He's very gifted at making players feel a part of the team in some way and trying to get the best out of them. And so finding what they're good at and giving them a role within that specific team.
Rene was the founder of the Prince Albert Atomic Volleyball program in 2007. The program developed youngsters from kindergarten through to grade 6, with many of these players participating in provincial and national team programs.
He's coached everything from the little atomic volleyball where they start as little kids all the way up to provincial team and obviously high school. His knowledge base and his ability to bring the best out of his players, like he could have coached anywhere. And so we're fortunate that he stayed in our community.
I think when you start with kids young and they learn the game, that passion is cultivated when they're very young and they continue to develop that passion.
Currently, Rene is a Volleyball Canada coach developer and learning facilitator. He has enjoyed success at every level he's coached at, but his most powerful contribution in the sport is how he has positively impacted the lives of young players, helping them to develop their potential not only as athletes, but as people.
Well, I think we see it just through the quality of our city and all the leaders we have. And as someone gave to them by being a coach, and we're seeing those people give back now and being coaches in the future.
He's done so much and sacrificed so much of his time for a lot of kids, and he's had a lot of success both provincially and nationally too with those teams.
He's a very dedicated person, and his love and his passion for sports, particularly volleyball, is very evident. Sharing his passion and getting others to share the same thing, I think that's kind of a goal or a mission for him.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome Rene Quintel in the Builder category.
Inducted into the Builder category, Ren Quintel. Well done, Ren. And Mark will ask you to stay up at the front as our video runs for our next inductee for induction into the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame in the Builder category, Tom Rothwell.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to recognize Tom Brothwell in the Builder category. The sport of soccer in the Prince Albert area was built under the guidance and hard work of many individuals. One of the names that you will see on that list is Tom Brothwell. As a member of the board of directors for the Prince Albert High Noon Optimist Youth Soccer Association, he served in many capacities, including the chair of both the indoor and outdoor youth soccer programs.
There seemed to be a need for people to get involved to help out, organize or coach or whatever. So back in the early 90s, I had children playing youth soccer, and I thought that it would be a good idea to get involved so I understood the game more, and from there it just took off.
He was a go-getter. He was really interested in keeping the kids involved. He wasn't dogmatic, he was diplomatic. Very, very good at convincing people what they wanted.
He really was I would say, the builder of indoor soccer in Prince Albert. He took it when it was relatively small and just dedicated his time and effort to that.
Youth and adults indoor soccer changed under Tom Brothwell's leadership. With the partnership of the school systems, he developed a program where he would access school gymnasiums and set up the locations in order to begin the development of the game. As the game grew in popularity, his work then also included the development of the indoor soccer program at the Prince Albert High Noon Optimist Center and eventually at the Alfred Jenkins Fieldhouse.
His involvement was really, I would say, one of the instrumental people to get indoor soccer really to where it is today.
When I first got involved in youth soccer, which is where I started in the program, there wasn't much for indoor soccer in the city, and that's where I worked on establishing a relationship with the school divisions and coordinated and organized gymnasium use for the youth.
When he first got involved, we had maybe, 60 kids at the most involved, and within 2 years we had 200 kids involved.
Tom began coaching in 1991, where over the next several years, his teams would win multiple city championships and 2 provincial titles, also earning multiple provincial Fair Play awards. Tom continued his success in coaching with winning a high school championship in 1999, and in 2001, his team won the Premier Women's Outdoor Soccer Provincials title. That team went on to compete in Toronto at the Premier Women's National Competition and garnered the National Fair Play Award.
Like, it was quite a record in a sense that year we went to 4 indoor tournaments and won gold, and then we went to indoor provincials and won gold, and then we went outdoor and went to 4 tournaments and won gold, and then won outdoor provincials.
I think we finished 5th that year in Canada. We were the first female team, senior women's team from Prince Albert, to make that leap. So we had a great team that year.
Lots of the girls that played, and boys for that matter, that I coach, became all-star players at the provincial level. Some went on to college in Canada and in the US, and I had one player who actually played for the Canadian women's national team.
His coaching successes and knowledge fostered the development of many young players to the Sask First All-Star Soccer program, enabling several athletes to earn post-secondary soccer scholarships in Canada and the US, as well as being a board member with the Saskatchewan Soccer Association.
He's been a tremendous ambassador for the soccer program in this community.
That's what volunteerism is. It's going to be the cornerstone to the success of all kinds of groups. You can have success and feel like you've accomplished something at lots of different levels.
His dedication to the sport of soccer, for the time that he gave to soccer, and just to think what soccer is today is really from Tom Brothwell.
He's led by example, so people can see it from a distance, and I think recognizing those people are really important for growth in the community.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome Tom Brothwell in the Builder category.
Inducted into the Prince Albert Hall of Fame in the Builders category, Tom Brothwell. Can we call upon you again, Brent McDonald, to represent Michael Lipchuk, Remax Realty, for the next presentation. And we'll be continuing with the Builder category. Our next inductee, we are pleased to introduce as Brent Zabershuk.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to recognize Brent Zabershuk in the Builder category. Brent Zabershuk was mentored by his dad, Wally. Brent's father told him that it was their responsibility to ensure the kids had a safe place to play sports. Following his dad's footsteps, Brent contributed more than 35 years helping to build the sports of hockey and soccer in Prince Albert and across Canada.
Well, my dad was always big in sports and a good athlete, right? He would always encourage us to play sport and do our best at sport.
You know, he's in between a good politician and a good referee, so he can play both sides of the fence, but he gets the job done.
But he's very meticulous, and he has he goes in with an end goal to make it better. than when he started. And that's the biggest part of this whole thing, just to know that whatever organization he was with, things were better when he was finally finished.
I played with, for a year and a little bit, we grew up together, Mark Winketer and Dave Manson. So I knew early in life, I didn't have a skill set to go anywhere with hockey.
On the local front, Brent served as the East End Community Club president for 2 years, during which time the East End rink completed major renovations. Brent also served as the Prince Albert Referee Association's treasurer, scheduler, and the referee-in-chief for Prince Albert Minor Hockey's referee division.
My passion when I found it was reffing. And so once I started to get some experience and people put into me and taught me how to do it properly, and you're at the doorstep watching the game, you think the game is exciting from up in the crowd, right? But when you're on the doorstep watching that game and they're hitting the puck and slashing away at the puck and goalie's trying to cover it, and it's that intensity that I just love about that game.
But the biggest thing is when he became a coach, and I used to ref his games, and those are quite interesting. He would challenge me a lot of times, and he wasn't afraid to call me on sometimes on some rules interpretation.
And you could see he could draw that maximum effort out of the kids that played for him. It didn't matter if it was A or double A or whatever. You know, a kid's a kid, and he always asked for their maximum effort, and 99.99% of the time those kids responded, and they gave it.
Brent spent 18 years at the provincial level as a board member of the Saskatchewan Hockey Association. Brent also made an impact outside of Saskatchewan. Brent was Hockey Saskatchewan's representative on Hockey Canada's minor council for 5 years. The council's responsibility was to ensure the sport at the minor level was growing in a positive manner, while ensuring grassroots had a say in the governance of the game.
I was done with volunteering. I was going to go enjoy life, and then PA Minor asked me to go to Hockey Saskatchewan as a representative for Zone 8, and then that took me on a 20-year venture of learning and meeting some very incredible people, but in the end, it was all about governance of the game. How do we govern the game, not how do we operate the game.
He went on and became an SHA member for Saskatchewan, and there he became on the board member. He was one of the commissioners for the board, and there again he took on the tough task of, he dealt with Saskatchewan disciplinary actions. He did the finance piece.
On the soccer scene, Brent served as East End Community Soccer Club representative, and then served a term as president of the Prince Albert High Noon Optimist Club.
From there, I just was a soccer rep also, so I ended up going to Prince Albert Minor Soccer, and for some unknown reason I put my hand up when probably I shouldn't have, and became president of Prince Albert Minor Soccer. And there again, I got to work with some excellent guys. And I got to watch and learn what a board is all about, and their interactions amongst the people was what was important. How do you get things done?
He adapted to a number of roles, whether it be as a referee, whether it be as an assigner, whether it be as an SHA representative. He did a great job. He was driven. He always took on the difficult task. He wasn't afraid of hard work, and he made people accountable.
The relationship that he builds with the people that he works with, those kids, you know, those kids 20 years later, they come up to him and say, "That's the most fun I ever had playing for you. I learned the most." Might not have been about the game, but it was about just life in general and how to handle things.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome Brent Zaberschuk in the Builder category.
Inducted into the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame in the Builder category, Brent Zaberschuk. And Mark Walters from Smitty's will ask you to stick around the stage to present the next award on behalf of the Broder Group. Our next inductee is in the Meritorious Service category. The 2025 inductee in the Meritorious Service category is Roger Mayert.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to recognize Roger Mayert for meritorious service. If you have been to any Prince Albert Raiders games in the last 40 plus years, you've likely run into Roger Mayert. Not only has Roger been a season ticket holder since 1971, but he has also volunteered for the club in numerous capacities over the years.
Well, Roger Mayert is the volunteer extraordinaire in our city.
When the Raiders come here, I started volunteering with them from day one, and I've been with them ever since.
As long as I've known him, which is probably 20 years, anything to do with the Raiders, Roger was involved. He tells stories about the ticketing, doing the ticketing and some type of board in the back.
Tickets at that time were just tickets, and we had to put them in bins and file them and before the games and all that. So it was quite a chore.
Well, what's interesting is when I came back here as general manager, everything is different, yet so many things were the same. And I remembered Roger. Of course, when you're 18 and 19, you don't remember much, but and it was, oh, Roger, you're still here. And hey, you're still helping us out, and we appreciate that support.
Memorial Cup was on the board then, and we as a board at that time, we used to help out all the time, like I'd help out in the bar or wherever.
His many volunteer duties included running the ticket booth back in the 80s to helping with the scout room in 2024. Roger also spent 19 years as a member of the Raiders Board of Directors and was heavily involved in the Bring Back the Magic campaign in the early 2000s. The campaign helped raise money for the Art Hauser Center to bring it up to the Western Hockey League standards.
It's always a guy with a smile on his face, obviously incredible passion for our team. His family's involved. He's running our scout room.
When you get one, you get three, and you get three because of Roger and Anne. And Darcy had no other choice but to become one of the trio.
The city of Prince Albert is well known across Canada and now around the world as a top-notch host for a wide variety of sporting events. One of the reasons for the success of these events is because of the volunteers, especially ones like Roger Mayert, who tirelessly dedicates his time to anyone who comes calling.
I worked a lot of ball, and then I worked on, with Special Olympics, I worked on those, and curling. I did a lot of curling. I've been a volunteer with them, and I've been, a host more or less with them.
And then whenever I need something, I just is phone call away, and they're filling a time slot for me. World Baseball, who needs support? I had spots for volunteers, one phone call, that slot is filled. So Roger Mayert is the king of volunteers.
Roger has been a volunteer for over 40 years with the Prince Albert exhibition. And I can't tell you how pleased the board and the staff are to see and have Roger with us. He has been such a dependable, reliable person to be with us, to help us through all our major events.
Prince Albert Exhibition Board, I've been on there probably, I think it's probably 30 years plus. I guess our biggest involvement there is the exhibition week, and that week there, I put a tremendous amount of hours in, and people tell me to go home, and I say, I go home, but I don't go home for very long. I'm there lots, and volunteering.
What I think drives Roger to volunteer as much as he does is deeper than just wanting to do good for the community. It's who he is at the core. He's the kind of person who sees a need and doesn't wait around for someone else to fill it. Roger is full of empathy, plain and simple. The kind that doesn't go away after just one volunteer shift. The kind that keeps showing up.
Well, we have over 100 volunteers ourselves. you know, for us it's special because Roger is one of ours, and we see this award for him as a community member, as someone who cares about the youth in our community, the support in our community.
Recognizing people like Roger who volunteer is important because it validates the time, the effort, the heart they pour into helping others.
Well, I just love sports, and that's the number thing. You know, I just like volunteering and helping people out. You know, because I knew that they needed help and they were looking for volunteers, so I just helped out.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome Roger Mayard for meritorious service.
Inducted for his meritorious service to sport in Prince Albert, Roger Mayard. I'd like to now call upon Barry Mihailovich from Big Drum Media to stand in for Prince Albert Urban Bus Lines to make the next presentation. The next inductee is in the team category. The 1984 to 1987 Birch Hills Marauders basketball team.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to recognize the 1984 to 1987 Birch Hills Marauders basketball teams. The Birch Hills High School has the reputation of producing very competitive basketball teams. The boys' teams from 1984 to 1987, under the guidance of head coach Bill Yeaman, had some of the strongest teams to come out of the Birch Hills community.
When I came to Birch Hills, it took us about 3 years to get the program going and get the kids coming out again and being competitive. And in that 3 years, so from 81 to 84, we kept getting better and better every year, and then in 84 things started to come together.
Birch Hills was always a hockey town, and when Bill came in, he managed to change it and made basketball relevant, and it just started exploding with lots of kids playing basketball.
We were very fortunate to have Bill as a coach. He brought with him a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge of the game. We loved playing for Bill, and I think that was the main reason why we were as successful as we were.
Birch Hills dominated the 2A boys category in the Saskatchewan High School Athletics Association by winning 4 straight provincial titles, beginning in 1984.
I never took it for granted of just going to Hoopla. It's such a journey to get there, and we were so fortunate to get there, but then it started to become our norm, like we had to get there.
Just getting over that edge and winning that first one is a hard thing to do, and it was big for our school at the time.
They had won a provincial championship in 84 and 85, and actually I do believe they also won one in 1978 as well. So coming onto the team, I basically knew that at the beginning of the year, our goal was provincial gold.
What made these Birch Hills teams so special was their ability to compete against the top 4A and 5A teams in the province.
Bill started with that right off the bat with us. You know, there wasn't anybody that was better than us. He put it in our mindset that we were very competitive and we could play at that caliber or level with any team that's out there.
Our kids never thought of themselves as a small school. They just said, yeah, we'll play anybody. And they had the confidence in their skills to do that. And that was huge for us.
The next years it was quite a bit different. Bill took us to, I want to say, a higher level of competition. He convinced the bigger schools, the 4A and 5A schools, that we were competitive. And we started playing those bigger schools, and it was later that year we were deemed, as I remember the headlines in Prince Albert Daily Herald calling us the Giant Killers.
As much as these players accomplished on the court, they were such positive ambassadors for their own communities of Birch Hills and Muscoda. In 1987, the team was invited to play an international tournament in Bottineau, North Dakota.
Yeah, we went for 2 years in the North Dakota tournament. It was actually probably one of the funnest tournaments that we've gone to. We went in 87 and I think 88. We left Boxing Day and left Birch Hills. We had good family support. We had the parents traveling with us at almost every road tournament that we had.
We went down there and learned just a lot about basketball, and it just changed. It just opened up our eyes for our kids, like, holy cow, there's another level of basketball. And that's how hard we started to work then to get to that level.
Coach Yeaman is very proud of the team's basketball accomplishments, but will always treasure the quality of citizens that all these players have become and what they have contributed back to their communities.
It's such a unique bond that we have with the kids that came out of Birch Hills, and that when we see each other, it's like we just finished playing the last weekend. And it starts off with a great hug, and then we just catch up on where they are in life and stuff like that. And they remember everything I said and I did. I don't remember anything that I said to them.
The first year was mind-blowing, you know, how hard it is to get to that level and to compete at that level with the other schools. And I didn't realize that the steps that it takes to get to that, you know, to play districts and then sectionals and then regionals and then finally hoopla.
We had a group of guys that loved to play the game and wanted to play the game, and on top of that we had probably one of the best and most recognized coaches in the province of Saskatchewan.
We all bought into it, and we liked being around him and the other players, and it just that was the main reason for our success.
I've been so blessed to have that relationship with those young men. Yeah.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome the 1984 to 1987 Birch Hills Marauders basketball team.
At this time, to join Kelly and Carmen Bearer, can we call upon all the other players and coaches of the 1984 and 1987 Birch Hills Marauders basketball teams who are here to come up and accept your medals? Still a pretty good looking group, isn't it? Yeah? Ladies and gentlemen, that's the 1984 to 1987 Birch Hills Marauders basketball team. We're gonna get a picture. Joel Mihailovich from Big Drum will get you after you start the next video, and I'll introduce it in a minute, but after you start, you'll come up to present. Connie, I think they're squeezing as good as they can. Birchill's Marauders basketball team. Thank you. For our final presentation of the night, also in the team category, we are pleased to introduce you to the 1975 to 1978 Meath Park Mustangs.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome the 1975 to 1978 Meath Park Mustangs football teams. A team going undefeated in one season is an incredible accomplishment on its own. Imagine going undefeated for 4 straight seasons. That's just what the Meath Park Mustangs 6-man football team did from 1975 to 1978.
Undefeated from 75, 76, and 77 I played. So those were unbelievable years.
Including all exhibition games and regular play games, everything, we were undefeated.
Those guys were unstoppable. They were big, mean Ukrainian boys. You know, and throw an odd Frenchman in there too. Saskatchewan farmers, yes.
We had a lot of good athletes. Like, you know, we were talking guys that had gym muscles. We're talking boys that had farm muscles.
After undefeated regular seasons in 1975, 76, 77, and 78, the Mustangs would move on to the provincial 6-man championships, where they would come out with the gold medal for 4 straight seasons.
Our coach, Sam Klesenkoff, he hated losing so much. It's just unbelievable. And he drove us, like, you know, we had practices at noon. We had practices after school every day. He just wanted to make us better. And you know what? We were good.
When we got to school in the morning, we had to run a mile every morning. We ran down to, they called it Four Corners, north of the high school. We had to run down there and back every morning. Sam would go through the blackboard of the game that we played, and even if you had a great game, he found a fault in everybody. Nobody ever had a perfect game. You could beat somebody 48-0 or 1, but everybody there, you know, he would call everybody out. You did this wrong, or you did that wrong. We got to clean up on this and that. And then after school, we'd have practices too.
Sam there, yeah, he was a very intense coach. He stressed in us, he wanted hard, clean hitting. He didn't go for that BS of cheap shots and stuff like that. But we could do it. We could dish it out. We could take it, but we could also dish it out.
Sam Klesenkoff, you couldn't get a better coach as far as I'm concerned. He knew his stuff and treated everybody the same. There was no favorites there. You couldn't ask for a better one, and he was always there for you, for sure.
One that is never mentioned was Barry Bolicki with our team in '78. Barry Bolicki came, and I thought he was instrumental as an assistant coach with us.
Incredibly, the team also went undefeated in the 1979 regular season before ending their winning streak in the provincial finals against Canwood by a score of 31-30.
The only game that I ever lost was the last game I played in high school. So it was tough because I wasn't used to losing. When I started playing football with those guys, we won all the time.
We were lined side to side there. Yeah, we even had people coming in, friends of the players or whatever, that would come from PA or whatever and watch the games. Yeah, no, we always had a good crowd, didn't matter where we went.
The place used to be buzzing when we had games in town. It was nothing to put around an outside field, six-man field. You'd have like 1,000 people, I would think, standing around the outsides, and just, they were all cheering green. You know, it was good. It was, yeah, you had the backing of the community and the surrounding area for sure, yes.
Many of the players would go on to coach future Mustangs and create the Mustang Alumni, which helped support the team before it was disbanded.
Oh yeah, there was Daryl and I, Sachkowski helped coach at right at Meath Park there, and I think a couple others that were older than us before we did that. And you help out what you can. I mean, we were all working at the time too, so you can't be there every day, but you're there as much as you can to help these kids out, and it's worth it. I mean, that's all part of the game too, is to help the others coming up.
Oh, it's friendships that you'll have forever. You know, even now, you know, guys that I haven't seen in years, you know, hey, you know, it's always, yeah, you'll always have that tie.
And I always tell my grandkids, yeah, he says, yeah, I played football, we went 3 years undefeated, the provincial champs.
Grew up with some heroes, put it this way, the younger ones, eh? So.
We just played the game, but we played it hard. And that's Sam's teaching, play her hard.
That's the last helmet I wore, yeah. I think you weren't supposed to take these home.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome the 1975 to 1978 Meath Park Mustangs football teams.
Dan Carrier and Marlon Sachkowski will come up representing the team. But same drill, are there Mustangs in the house? Come on out and get your medals. This is the 1975 to 1978 Meath Park Mustangs football team. Where are the Mustangs? Here they come. They still move pretty quick.
Come on, you guys, getting a little slow here.
The Mustangs are making the point that they fit on that stage better than the Marauders did. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the 1975-1978 Meath Park Mustangs. Meath Park Mustangs, everyone. We have a tradition now that we've introduced all of our inductees, where the custom is that some of them are taking the shortcut across the stage. We have a tradition here, and that is that we usually ask the prettiest inductee to speak on behalf of all of the recipients. And Red Quintel and Frank Dunn step forward immediately, of course. You'll all be relieved to know that I'm now introducing the very lovely Elizabeth Hudon-Tenency.
I'm going to push this off of you. Good evening, everyone. Hi, baby. This is
way past your bedtime. My name is Elizabeth Tanaski, and I have the honor of speaking on behalf of the inductees. What an amazing night it has been. Thank you to all of you for taking time out of your busy lives to be here with us tonight. We are so lucky to be part of such an incredible community who works hard to put on events like this to celebrate its members. So first off, thank you to the people who put this event on. There's so much work that goes into organizing something like this, and the work starts long before today. Really, it's the board of directors who should be recognized tonight. Barry, who I've communicated with a lot about various things, Jody for promptly responding to my excessive amount of emails, and Pat, Carol, Ellen, Leanne, Uncle Barry, Jim, Gail, and Jen for all of your hard work behind the scenes to ensure tonight goes off without a hitch. Thank you. Thank you as well to all the generous sponsors who helped make this night so memorable. I think it's safe to say that all of us up here tonight are grateful to be inducted into the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame. It would be an honor in any city, but especially in PA. PA is the kind of place where everyone rallies around each other for everything. People here are passionate about doing good for the city and the people in it. If you listen to Roger's video, you already know that. That guy volunteers for everything. Prince Albert has produced many incredible athletes. If you look out in the hallway there, you can see lots of the beautiful faces. We are so lucky to have our pictures hung alongside each of the people that have been inducted before us. Myself, Frank, and Lonnie, as well as the players from the Birch Hills basketball team and the Meath Park football team, put a lot of hours into trying to perfect our skills, but athletes don't become the athletes that they are without people like Ren, Tom, and Brent, who have spent countless hours helping others reach their potential. It's no wonder organizations like PESA do so well when they are under the guidance of such amazing coaches and mentors. The city produces coaches, builders, athletes, and volunteers that truly care about the people that they are working with, and that is something to really be proud of. I know that as a kid, and even a young adult, I didn't thank my coaches enough for everything they did for me, not only as a player, but as a person. Thank you to the ones that are here tonight, and to all of the coaches who put up with me and helped shape who I am today. Along with the number of hours each of us have put into building our respective sports, whether it be as an athlete, coach, board member, referee, or volunteer, comes a support system that was there for us through it all. A parent to drive you around as a young athlete, a partner to pick up the slack at home when you were spending hours coaching, or a kid who helps volunteer at the events that you run. Personally, my family was the reason why I could accomplish what I did. My mom and dad picking me up at halftime from a basketball game in one city to take me to a soccer practice in another was something that happened often. They were also the ones waiting for me with outstretched arms after a tough loss or a big win. I was usually lucky enough to have the biggest cheering section at all of my sporting events, no matter how big or small the game was. I now understand how inconvenient it was for my sister to lug her 2 young boys to my 12 o'clock noon Husky games each weekend, having to improvise during lunch and nap time. This happens to be the same sister that's parenting my children right now. My family showed up for me every single time. Sport has been a huge part of all of our lives, and I think everyone's experiences are a little bit different. Sport can have some extreme highs and some pretty low lows. The relationships that we've built and the strength we've gained from the people we worked alongside during these times are some of the strongest relationships we will have. No matter what sport we were part of, as an athlete, builder, coach, or volunteer, we all acquired skills that we will carry with us throughout our lives. Above all else, I think being involved in sport teaches you the importance of teamwork and to celebrate each other's accomplishments. This banquet does just that. We are here because of the teamwork of the organizers, and we are celebrating some pretty amazing accomplishments. Congratulations to everyone involved. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Don't we raise great kids in Prince Albert, don't we? So it's that part of the evening now that we say goodnight, and we have a number of people to thank. Of course, evenings like this are very special. Like, we really are blessed to be in this community, to grow up in this community, to raise our families in what is really a family of families. Tonight, the Board of Directors of the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame would like to thank so much the corporate sponsors who every year show up to help make this evening possible. Crown Vacuum, Brent McDonald, Michael Lipchuk of Remax Realty, Prince Albert Northern Bus Line, Stacey Fetcherman, Lake Country Co-op, Tim Keller's here, Smitty's, Mark Walters, Broder Group, Gordon and Rusty Clooney, and of course, those sensational videos by Big Drum Media, Barry and Joel. Thank you so much to the sponsors. Please give them a hand. Shenanigans, of course, for the great meal, Big Drum Media, I said again, the Prince Albert Raiders organization, their volunteers are just awesome, running the bar for us. Thanks, guys. Connie Joynson, who was managing those teams in the photographs just now, and who's just been sensational all evening taking photographs. Thanks so much, Connie. And a reminder, we can download those pictures from the website. Can we? That's okay. Okay. I guess in a couple of weeks they'll be available. So thanks very much, Connie. So as we conclude our formal program this evening, I would like to again echo what Elizabeth has so eloquently said, that there really is a thanks due to the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame Board for what you do and what you celebrate. It is important for a community to celebrate itself. So you make this happen every year. It's been wonderful to spend an evening together as a community to honor our own, to honor these very accomplished people for all they represent and mean to our community. We honor your skills and dedication as athletes, as builders, your service to sport, and your service to the heart of a community, to our community that is so personified vibrantly in the values and accomplishments of sport in this wonderful place that with our families we call home. So I am pleased to say that this evening is now wrapped, and we have our inductees, I think, solidly inducted, and I bid you a good night. We'd like to invite the inductees back onto the stage for a group shot for our photographer and for the media. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for supporting the 33rd Induction Banquet of the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame. Have a great evening. Get home safely.
One more thing. A big round of applause for our awesome MC, Mr. O'Reilly.